coming from a place of white privilege where you don't really understand how they treat us in New York City.
You know.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy LaRon. We back with another video. See the thumbnail, see this video's about. But before we get into it, I want to say what's up to my subscribers. Also, if you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you are new, please consider hitting subscribe and turn on notifications, because on this channel, we do thought-provoking videos, reaction videos such as this one right here. And once a month, I do a review on the Black-owned product. So if you're into that kind of content, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. All right, let's get into it. So we have Black Lives Matter leader, Newsome. Well, he's the Black Lives Matter leader in New York. Newsome is back on Fox News. I did a video on him on Fox News before. I'm gonna put that at the end screen so you guys can check that one out as well. He's coming on Fox News, and I guess they want to ask him questions about the things that he said, and I guess it's like maybe threats against the mayor per se, or against what the mayor want to do. So I want to play this video for you guys and give you my thoughts on it. You know what I'm saying? I give Newsome props, in my opinion. People who subscribe to, like, you know, Fox News or, you know, CNN or whatever like that, they already have their mind made up on things. And Fox News is not really like the best place for Black Lives Matter to be at. And people who watch Fox News really don't agree with Black Lives Matter. And he always come onto the show and, you know, give his thoughts about what's going on. So let's get into it. I'm gonna just play this clip, and we can have a conversation in the comments, but I'm gonna give you my reaction throughout the clip, so let's go.
This quote: "We are not going to surrender to those who are saying, quote, we're gonna burn down New York. Not my city," he said. Pete Hegseth is standing by with his response, but first let me bring in Newsome to respond to that. Hawk, thank you very much for being here. When you listen to the words of Eric Adams, and I know we covered the meeting that you had with him not that long ago, what goes through your mind? What's your response to him on that?
Well, the mayor is engaging in a political circus, and my parents didn't raise a clown. So I'm not here to play these circus-type political games with him. I'll say this. The mayor took a trip to Africa, which wasn't covered by the press. His appointees wasn't covered by the press. So he threw my name out there so he can get in the media. Look at what happened after we engaged in this back and forth. He was on Colbert, he was on Anderson Cooper, he was on Bill Maher. I made him famous, right, for this spat we had. And if the mayor truly cared about what's best for the city, he would have talked about the things we agreed upon in that meeting. But he didn't want to discuss that, Martha.
Well,
he just
you know,
wants
here's what he's saying. He says he wants to bring this unit back. Listen to what he said. He said, I was elected, and this is what I ran on, and I'm going to follow through on that because that's what the people of New York City have asked me to do. Watch this.
I said I was going to reinstitute an anti-gun unit in plain clothes. Voters voted on that. They're going to have their body cameras on every interaction. We're going to use precision policing to identify the gang members. We removed the precinct level plainclothes unit. That was a bad decision.
So since that unit was disbanded, we've seen homicides almost double in New York City. So he's saying, I want a safe city. And a lot of New Yorkers respond to that really positively. They want a safe city. They want to be able to go out in the streets. They don't want people breaking the windows and stealing stuff. They want to see children be safe on the streets. What is wrong with anything that he just said there?
Yeah, she got a point. I mean, what is wrong with that? I mean, you know, if I lived in New York, I would want that. And if those numbers are correct that Ms. Martha is saying, Martha MacCallum, if that's the words that she's saying, if those numbers are correct, I agree with her. Like, I would want a safer city. And if he feel like this is the way, maybe they could take what they did, you know, back in the day and revamp it and make it more not as biased or not as prejudiced as it once was. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they could find a different way of doing it instead of saying that you doing this is going to be the same thing it was before.
Well, here's the problem. The man does not have a plan. He's about to be the
Yes, he does have a plan. He's going to put the anti-crime police unit back on the street.
Wait. Can you listen?
What? Why she cut him off that quick? All he said was the man didn't have a plan, and she just went off on him. That's kind of messed up. You bringing guests on your show, you won't allow them to speak. And I don't understand why Hope Newsome keep coming on the Fox News. But
Can you listen? Are you going to yell at me? Or are you going to let me make my point? You just talked.
Don't do that.
Right?
Okay, don't do that.
This again.
All right, because I can interject and I can say. Okay, you just say he doesn't have a plan.
Let me make a statement.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I just let you go on about Africa and Anderson Cooper, who no one cares about.
The things that he's saying, the things that he's saying, precision policing, focusing on gangs, these are all things that de Blasio said. Crime isn't just up in New York City, it's up around the country. So what is he going to do that's different other than talk? He's had more time.
I'm telling you, he wants to put that unit back on the street. I spoke with a New York City detective. No, it's my turn now. I spoke with a New York City detective who said to me, back in June of 2020, let's take turns here, okay? I let you answer. Let me ask you a new question, and then I'm going to let you respond, okay? I spoke with a New York City detective when that unit was disbanded. He said, you mark my words. There are going to be kids dying. This is going to be really bad. Let me put up on the screen. 21 children have been killed in the streets of New York, mostly in gang violence. The purpose of this unit that he wants to put back on the street, this is his plan, you asked what his plan was to clean up illegal guns, violence, and hard drugs on the street. So I'm asking you, what is wrong with putting this unit back on the street if it keeps children of New York City and adults safer?
Okay, there's this thing called the Constitution, and the Fourth Amendment protects us against illegal search and seizure.
Right.
Secondly, this unit has been responsible for the most high-profile deaths in the city. He isn't saying what he's going to do differently. For your journalistic integrity, just ask the right questions. What is his actual plan? He's just talking and drumming up news stories so that we can get this back and forth going again between two black men instead of talking about the things we've agreed upon.
I see where he was going with that, but I kind of low-key agree with Martha. It's not really about two black men going back and forth. It's about you. I think, in my opinion, from what I've seen, Hope Newsome started it. He's the one that said, if you bring this unit back, there's going to be bloodshed. Once you said that, there's going to run with it. And since you knew they was going to run with that, why you keep going on to Fox News to keep talking about it? Are you doing the things that you saying that Eric Adams is doing that's getting this fame? Like, of all places, you go to Fox News to speak about this. And it's going to be this argumentative, back and forth banter about y'all two with different opposing sides. It's going to be the same thing every time.
Which was feeding people good food, right? You want to talk about us being in these streets? We have a school where we teach kids how to be safe every single day. Today, I spent the day looking for a lost 11-year-old. I don't get paid by the city to do this. I'm not running for office.
God bless you for that. There's nothing. That is a good thing.
And you know what? Just one last thing, Martha. One last thing, okay? Nobody wants our communities to be violent, but there are other ways to do it. He's not saying what he's doing differently. The Democrats have been talking about body cams for the last 4 years. People are poor. You just reported that if inflation is up, people don't have money, people are starving,
people
their PPE
need to be
ran
safe,
out.
They need to know that the police are going to have their back.
I guess being safe and being poor is one and the same. I mean, a lot of people who commit the crimes, they commit the crimes for money. Maybe it's not enough job opportunity out there, but at the same time, it's just like he comes on here and talk in circles. I don't understand why he come on here for. I don't get it, in my opinion. I really don't get it.
Employment
they need to know that when they go out on the street,
jobs and opportunities.
Absolutely. Do what you can to keep the kids safe, and let the police officers go out and keep those same kids safe, because they're dying at the hands of gangs who are doing.
See, you don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to be pulled over and thrown up against walls.
No, I don't.
You don't know what it's like to be riding in a car with your friends as a college student.
And I'm sorry that happened to you. I really am. But the fact of the matter is,
you live from a place of white privilege where you don't really understand how.
He hit it with that white privilege. Once you hit that white privilege, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And look at her. She just looked like, oh man, she kind of looked like, I don't know. She looked disgusted, but he knew he had that in his back pocket. And I think she knew it was coming. She knew it was coming.
They treat us in New York City.
You know what?
I
want this whole city, people of every background,
right?
faith, color,
so
to
you
be
say
safer.
You want us to be
and
safe?
what I see on the street is that is not what is happening. Since this unit was disbanded, we have
but
seen
you see
an
that
increase.
all over the country. They didn't
I don't care about that. We're talking about New York. You care about New York. You're Black Lives Matter New York. I'm talking about New York City, one of the greatest cities in the country,
I just came
where
back
people
from
should
LA.
feel safe.
I do this in Houston. I do this in Atlanta. I help black people all over the country, like a Black Salvation Army.
That's great.
In all of these communities. What are you doing? I found a lost kid today. What are you doing to help the greater good?
Do you know what I just said when you said that? I said, God bless you. And I would like that child to be able to grow up safely in this city. And we don't have the kind of support that we need because we have diminished these officers and we have put them in a situation where they can't protect that little 11-year-old that you just saved today. And like I said, good for you for the work that you're doing about poverty. But you have to have both sides.
They can't protect them. Even in cities where the police precincts weren't defunded, crime is up. How do you explain that? Crime is up across the country.
I didn't know. We had a conversation about this. I gotta look at the numbers, but from what I understand, they didn't really defund the police anywhere. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments, but I don't think they really defunded the police anywhere. They talked about it. They got all the bail reform that people who do crimes to get out quicker. But I don't know if they defunded the police in certain areas.
Okay, you say they defund the police, and no, it is absolutely true.
Well, there's a number of factors with that, but when you look at the big increases in homicides across this country, what you're seeing is that the places where police have been diminished in their ability to do their job, which is nationwide, you're seeing an increase
People are getting robbed on Rodeo Drive.
No kidding.
People are getting robbed.
Yeah, you asked what I'm doing. We're covering those stories every day, sir.
People are getting robbed.
I gotta leave it there because we're out of time. I appreciate the work that you're doing in poverty. I think we can have a safe city, and we can also take care of the poor.
Can I say one last thing?
Quick.
Free Larry Hoover.
Oh man, free Larry Hoover. We talked about this on my live stream I did on Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Check out my live streams I do. We did talk about free Larry Hoover, but I'm gonna get to that a little later. Like I said, I'm not sure why Hope Newsome come onto this channel and have these debates with these people. I'm not sure. It's not serving any purpose. I'm not saying that he's not well informed of the topic that he's talking about, but I'm saying that like the audience that he's speaking to don't care what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? It's like, to me, either it's one of two things. You like going on there to waste your time, or you're on Fox News payroll. And they know that this is going to get ratings, and they know that people are going to watch this and be upset about this because you come on here saying the things that you're saying. It's one of those two things, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I find it entertaining, especially the free Larry Hoover part. And a lot of people saying that we need to free Larry Hoover because Larry Hoover would be the one that get these people, the gangs in check. It's, saying Larry Hoover been in jail for quite some time. So I think he was the one that created the Gangster Disciples, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know in the comments if I said the wrong thing. And people feel like once he come back home or get free from jail, he's the one that can stop everything. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's going to be the case, because if he had that much power and that much will, how come he can't do it from behind bars? Why he has to do it face to face? You think that these kids are going to respect him that much? Be like, all right, you know what? The OG said to chill. We're going to chill. You've been gone for too long, and that whole type of code and mentality, in my opinion, is already gone. But what's your thoughts on this? Hope Newsome back on Fox News. It seemed like an ongoing thing. He went back on there to speak about the same thing he spoke about before. He's just doing it again. In my opinion, I think he's getting a certain amount of money, in my opinion, to come on the Fox News. And Candace Owens, he speaks to audience that already have their minds made up about how they feel about these certain topics. And we live in a time where there's not like a neutral spot where you can have these conversations, where there is, but not on Fox News or CNN or MSNBC. Those audiences, their minds are already made up, and whatever that news channel agenda is being pushed, their audience already believe in that agenda. And you come in here and try to combat that agenda, unfortunately, nobody's gonna go for it, and nobody's gonna listen to you. It is what it is. But that's my thoughts on it, man. I appreciate you guys' time. Please check out my new podcast, Breaking Structure Podcast. It's on YouTube and all other streaming platforms. So whatever you have, I'll put the description. I'll put the link in the description so you guys can click it and check out whatever podcast you use. You can find us on there, man. It's every Monday we upload a new episode between my brother and I, and we have a nice, unique conversation because we both have different, unique kind of minds, and it's interesting to hear how we think about things. But that's my observation of this video, man. I appreciate you guys' time. All right, man. Till next time. Peace.